We're back with another Mikh's Muse. Today, it's gonna be a little bit different. The topic for today's video came up from our first accelerator cohort. One of our brand ambassadors tapped in and asked about how to get loans or grants for her business. So today, I'm gonna talk to you guys about how to get free money. So I think the first step when it comes to finding funding for your business or brand is really understanding the needs, right? What do you need funds for? I'm not gonna get too far into loans because I've personally never done a business loan, but I can definitely speak on grants. One major difference between a grant and a loan is you don't have to pay a grant back. With a loan, you may get a term to the loan and then begin to pay that loan back over the course of that term. Whereas with a grant, you may have a term for a grant, but it would be stating that you have to complete the work that those funds are allocated for during the term of that grant. But you don't actually have to repay that to whatever entity funded you. The reason why it's important for you to really gain an understanding of your business internally before looking at the external opportunities that you apply for is that it's gonna really help you to create a filter so that you're using your time efficiently and really aligning the needs of your business with opportunities to fulfill those needs versus just going for some lump sum of money. A lot of grant programs, even though the money is free to you, it may not be free to whatever use that you determine, right? And so if you need a website or if you have a website, you may not want to apply for a program that is only for people who need help with their digital footprint, right? There are different programs that you can use to gain access to technical assistance, but understanding the technical needs of your business is what's going to help you to understand those are things that you should go for. I think another major benefit to adding this to your business operations as an early stage entrepreneur is you're gonna create deadlines, right? Each grant has a deadline. You're gonna start to give yourself deadlines and develop a sense of urgency to work on your business, to step away and work on something that's solely to elevate your business and brand position. In addition to the application deadlines, once you're awarded, once you start winning grants, those may come with deadlines. And so again, the process of winning grants isn't solely a financial game. It's also a game that if you're somebody who is just getting started, you can use to begin to develop rituals for success, where you're documenting your vision, you're sharing your vision, and you're doing something that can get you funded. You can find grants a lot of different ways. One of my favorite community organizations that offers grants to entrepreneurs is LISC. The LISC office here in Indianapolis is very active. There's plenty of nonprofits as well as philanthropic organizations that have databases available. And we'll create a resource page for you all. We'll put the link down in the description of this video for you. But what I recommend to you, again, is to really get crystal clear about the needs of your organization as well as the uniqueness. And so that as you do go out into these databases, you go out into these places where you can find grant funding opportunities, you'll understand, oh, I am a minority woman-led business in this specific industry, right? There's grants for everyone. And so making sure that you're crystal clear on which ones are for you is, again, gonna be of the utmost importance. Another reason why it's important that you have your ducks in a row internally first is that as you go into the grant application process, you'll find that each application may be slightly different, right? They may want you to communicate a part about yourself or a part about your business or brand that's different from other applications that you go out and apply on. And having a foundational brand kit, a foundational source of information about your brand, the mission, the vision, your positioning statements, these are all things that you should be able to use across all of these different applications to make sure that you got a unified tone and that you're not having to make up a way to describe yourself every single time. Now, it's important, not only with grants, but with anything that you do for your business, you should be establishing a brand, right? You should be cognizant of the touch point that you're putting out for people to gain an understanding about who you are and what you do. And so you want to make sure that as you're putting out applications, that they're compelling applications that really do define who you are, what you do, who you're looking to serve, and that you're not just submitting the bare minimum, 10-word sentence answers, right? The more that you apply yourself in the application process, the more that those reviewers are gonna really be able to identify, oh, this is somebody that's gonna be able to not only put their own thoughts to work, but put our funds to work as well. You gotta remember that the purpose of any program that may fund you for free is not just to give away money, but it's to fund some type of an outcome. And so you should be selling yourself as somebody who puts the work in to create positive outcomes. And that all starts with your responses on your grant form. Now, going online and doing a query, of course, that's something that you can do. But it's also important to actually build your brand, build your business in the marketplace that you're looking to have a position in, right? And over the course of networking, you'll be able to identify those who have either gained grants or are aware of grants. As people understand who you are and what you need, they'll be able to connect you with resources that can fill those needs. So I also encourage you to not just look at the process of applying for grants as something that you do in a corner or just in a Google Doc or just, somewhere where you're isolated by yourself. Understand that you're looking to position your brand as a fundable opportunity. And so you should tell the story of the impacts that you're doing even before you get any funding. You should be communicating that out to the world, and so that you can be found as you're looking for opportunities as well. Taking your business from 0 to 1 can be one of the most difficult steps as an entrepreneur, especially when it comes to creating the momentum to go from 1 to 2, 2 to 10, 10 to 10,000. But I encourage you to take that step, because just by going through the process, just by making the effort to get your hands on an unallocated dollar, right? If you may be making, it doesn't matter how much money you're making. If you got 100% of your dollars allocated towards expenses, towards just living, right? Then it can be difficult to find the space to step away and work on your brand or business. And grants is an awesome way for you to gain access to unallocated dollars, right? Money that you can then set aside and dedicate towards your life's work. And it's something that can create momentum, not out of nothing, right? Because the effort to apply should give you some initiative. It should give you a little bit of motion. And once you get that going, it's all about, once you get those funds, continuing that work, right? So I encourage you guys today to go out here, think about the position that you want to hold in the marketplace. What's the story that you're looking to tell? Make it a story that's compelling and one that others would love to fund. And I promise on the back end, it'll come back to you. It'll come back to you. So where should you start? You made the decision that you want to get that back end benefit, right? You want to go out here and start applying for grants for your business. Where should you start? Well, the first thing you need to do is make sure that you got a legitimate business. You got to have a corporation, you got to have a nonprofit entity. You have to have an entity that's fundable, right? That's the first step. Once you have that done, I encourage you to make sure that you clearly documented the mission, the operations, the products and services, and who that business or brand serves. And once you've completed that, get out into the marketplace, whether you go out online or you go out into the community that you live in, and start to communicate your value and look for places that value is valued. And within that, you'll find opportunities for people who have achieved success and want to give back to those to do similar things to them. And a lot of those people do provide that in the form of grants. And even if you don't find a grant that matches immediately, if you find a fellowship program or a scholarship program or even a volunteer opportunity, these are things that just by participating, you're going to get yourself into a more fundable position. And when I say fundable position, think about it as value, right? When you're doing these things, you're becoming a more valuable person, a more valuable asset to the marketplace. And ultimately, those with the best plans in the marketplace, finance will always find their pockets. Have a good one.